You know what's great about pro wrestling? Massive people. For some reason, there's just something captivating about a human being that defies physical limitations, yet can still get in a ring and move around like they're lighter than air. The problem, though, is that WWE loves to lie to us about what these behemoths actually weighed. We all know Yokozuna was massive, but did he really tip the scales over 600 pounds? Because that is humongous. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and this is the 10 heaviest wrestlers ever, and what they actually weighed. Number 10, Nelson Frazier Jr., or better known to you and me as Mabel, Viscera, or Big Daddy V. An absolute mountain of an individual, his most successful run did come as Mabel, where he won the 1995 King of the Ring and challenged Diesel for the WWE title at SummerSlam in the same year. That's a bit better than just hanging out with The Undertaker in the Ministry of Darkness. During this time, he was billed as weighing 568 pounds, which is madness, although this would be dropped to 487 pounds under his other two characters. It's the latter where you can put your money in terms of accuracy. What many people forget, though, is that Nelson was insanely tall too at 6'7". Unfortunately, he passed away just 4 days after his 43rd birthday in 2014. Number 9, The Big Show. For years we were told that The Big Show was 500 pounds, and because of this, and his height, he was the largest athlete in the world. The world is pretty big, so that's kinda cool. The problem is, if you look through his career, his body shape and weight have changed considerably. As well as being announced at 441 pounds during his WWE tenure, he also clocked in at 385 pounds and 425 pounds. And during his WCW days, he was around the 450 mark. This is where we can make a fair assumption though. The Big Show was far leaner in WCW than he was in WWE, so there's every chance for a while he was a legit 500 pounds. Especially because the drops would always come after he'd been off TV for a while and had shedded a few pounds. All that matters is that today, the Big Show is nowhere near that number. He's a lean, mean, fighting machine with a massive beard. Number 8, AKEBONO. The first non-Japanese born wrestler to reach Yokozuna in the world of sumo, which is a rank by the way. You don't conquer sumo wrestling and then become former WWE champ Yokozuna. AKEBONO thought, screw it, let's try my hand at some pro wrestling and see what happens. This, as we know, led to a WrestleMania 21 sumo match with The Big Show. That was horrible. When he walked the aisle, however, he was announced at 504 pounds, and there's plenty of evidence to suggest that was 100% accurate. The major piece comes in the sense he clocked in at 514 pounds for the rest of his pro wrestling career, which was his official weight when he was doing sumo. And sumo wrestling doesn't make up weights. Well, he was massive. Number 7, Andre the Giant. The clue is in the name, people. Andre the Giant was dubbed as such because he was huge, mostly due to suffering from a condition known as gigantism. Already 6'3" and 240 pounds by the age of 12, which is terrifying, he entered WrestleMania 3 for his most famous match against Hulk Hogan at 520 pounds. Given that this was his build weight for almost his entire career, you'd be inclined to believe it's true, especially as WWE would change his height all the time. One day he'd be 7'1", then he'd be 7'5". Interestingly enough, after he passed away, his height was confirmed as 6'10". So take that for what you will. Given that no one ever mucked around with his weight, however, and the fact he once drank 119 beers in a single session, then I think 520 pounds is a fair shout. Number 6, Yokozuna. Debuting with the WWE in late 1992, Yokozuna was almost an instant success. Not only did he win the Royal Rumble in 1993, but he also had 2 runs as both a tag team champion and world champion. That ain't too shabby. When he first walked into the company, he was around 505 pounds, but anyone who was a fan at the time knows how big Yoko got. Within a year, the number had risen to 550 pounds. Then after another 12 months, it was 568 pounds. It peaked at a ludicrous 641 pounds. But let's throw that one out the window straight away. Yokozuna was definitely oversized, but given he was only a touch over 6 foot, there's no way that is the case. Desperate for him to lose weight, WWE even threatened to release the Samoan if he failed to do so. That could mean he tinkered with the 600 pound mark, but I would say 568 pounds is a far better bet. And that is still not small. Number 5, Man Mountain Mike. You don't just put the word mountain in your name unless you, well, look like a mountain. That's why during the 1960s and 1970s, we had Man Mountain Mike. Joining the then WWF in 1975 and hanging around for a good 6 years, he was constantly billed as weighing over 600 pounds, which is 272 kilograms, or 42 stone. Good grief. While it's fair to question such a number, a quick Google search yields no evidence that this was a lie. Mike is a beast and looks like the world's most intimidating farmer, so it seems right to take their word for it. Number 4. Haystacks Calhoun. At the same time as Man Mountain Mike was pushing the limits of size, so was Haystacks Calhoun. Slapped with a 640-pound tag, he actually weighed in close to 625 pounds, which still makes him one of the biggest pro wrestlers of all time. He even teamed with the Mountain on occasion, which would mean their combined weight would have been well over 1,200 pounds. They could have literally flattened and killed someone if they'd wanted to. A constant draw throughout his career simply due to how big he was. He didn't ever really need a title to get himself over. People just had to see him. He was a big man. Number 3. Giant Haystacks. Named after Calhoun himself, Giant Haystacks wasn't satisfied with just being inspired by him and went one step further. Getting up to 630 pounds, although he was often billed as 670, Haystacks was a British wrestling legend and had a famous feud with Big Daddy on the UK scene. Their matches would often be watched by up to 16 million people. It's pretty good. While he never made it to WWE, he did have a short 1996 run in WCW under the name Loch Ness and remains a household name in many circles. His legacy lives on, as does the impressiveness of his massive frame. Number 2. The McGuire Twins. You can find about 45 different weights for the McGuire Twins. Thankfully, because they are legitimate twins, massive twins at that, the Guinness Book of World Records got involved, meaning we have an official number for both. Unsurprisingly, it's crazy. With Billy weighing in at 742 pounds and Benny slightly less at 723 pounds, they are officially the heaviest twins of all time. And who the hell is ever going to beat that record? Imagine you saw them coming down the street. You'd run a mile. Just two identical people who look like they could literally eat you alive. Number 1. Happy Humphrey. Happy Humphrey may have often been billed at 700 pounds, but he regularly sat at 800 pounds. 800 pounds! I don't even know what that means. Harley Race claimed in his autobiography that Humphrey would often top 1,000 pounds on occasion, but we're not even going to humour that idea, because madness. It does give a lot of credence, though, to the idea that he was a legit 800. Having his most famous match in Madison Square Garden when Vince McMahon Sr. booked him against Haystacks Calhoun, just imagine those two monsters circling each other. This isn't what is most impressive about the man. That came in 1962, where he was diagnosed with a heart condition that forced him into retirement and dropping a whopping 630 pounds, meaning afterwards he weighed a mere 230. He did put a lot of this back on before his death in 1989, but that's some force of will, and he shall forever be known as the heaviest wrestler of all time. At least I hope so. I don't think I can handle anyone that big in the future. Know of any other heavy wrestlers? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You can even come talk to me about them on Twitter at SimonMiller316. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and I'll chat to you again soon.